We have made it to the trade deadline here in year number 1 of the Las Vegas High Rollers MyNBA franchise here on NBA 2K26. And this is going to be a fun episode because we're going to make some big roster moves. For the first time since the expansion draft, we're going to shake this team up. We're going to get through the All-Star break as well and position ourselves closer to the end of the year. In the last episode, we had our first prospect profile of the season, introducing ourselves to many of the notable players in this year's draft. We are currently projected to have one of the top picks this year, so there's a good chance that we're going to be ending up with one of these very talented young players. The trade deadline is a little bit over a week away. February 5th is the date. As it stands now, we're 12-31. We're in second to last place in the Western Conference. There's roughly 3 or 4 teams in the NBA who are below us, which I didn't know exactly what to expect with a full expansion team going into the year, but there have been some really bad teams. The Wizards, I think, only have 6 wins at this point. I mean, there are some rough squads this year, put it that way. We've got some big decisions to make at the deadline. McCollum, of course, the main one. We drafted him on an expiring contract knowing that he could potentially be used as trade bait. And with his play this year, he has certainly upped his value given that he's been amazing for us. And that poses the question of if it's even worth it to trade him away, given that we wouldn't get some massive haul of picks, but rather look to extend him. So we're going to simulate up to the trade deadline. We've got 5 games against 5 Western Conference playoff teams. Musa Diabate was dinged up. He is back healthy. I kind of want to see what Oso Ighodaro does as the starting center over Luke Cornett and Diabate for the time being. In the 5 games that I simulated, we ended up going 2-3, which isn't horrible. We lost to the Warriors by 11. McCollum did score 37, however. We beat the Grizzlies. The defense was fantastic. CJ had 29. Nobody on Memphis had more than 16. Rough day in the office for them offensively. We beat the Mavericks by 10. CJ McCollum scored 30, again on great shooting. This is what he has been doing all year. In an offense where he's the only good shot maker, he's still been otherworldly efficient on really high volume. We don't have that many older players per se. Obviously, it's a younger team, and we don't have that many expensive players with the exception of McCollum. We would need to get a matching salary if we were to trade him away. The idea is that maybe we look for a bad contract to go and acquire, and that would potentially make the stash of picks better. Ultimately, I do think it makes the most sense to trade him away. He has been awesome for us this year. The highest true shooting percentage of his entire 13-year career. He's been everything we could have hoped for and then some. But I think that's exactly why we need to capitalize on his value. With how well he's played this year, I do think we can get a first-round pick and possibly a little bit more. I want to send CJ to a place where he wants to go, preferably a contender. I want to do right by him because he has been exactly what we could have hoped for this year with his play on the floor, with what he has provided off the floor for the younger guys. We want to do him right and send a message to the rest of the NBA that we are looking out for our players. Jaylen Brown is in the trade finder. That is interesting. Boston would not do that. I'm not going to take that trade. But that is certainly an interesting deal. Most of these offers are not the best. Like, this is something that would kind of make sense. Michael Porter Jr. in a first-round pick. A bad contract and draft assets is realistically what we'd be looking for. Some of these offers completely suck, and then some of them, it's Denny Avdia. Like, again, why would the Blazers ever consider that? In terms of potential fits, obviously I want to find a team that's good, but also a team who's lower in terms of bench scoring percentage. Obviously, CJ McCollum will not be the number 1 scoring option on a championship team, but for someone who needs secondary shot making, he would be perfect. I also have updated all of the draft picks across the NBA because 2K did not do a good job of that. It was not easy Googling and finding which picks belong to which teams because every website said something different. The NBA's got to do a better job of keeping track of those picks. So I look at the Hawks as a team that would make a lot of sense because obviously they have Trae Young, who's one of the best shot makers in the league, but they don't really have much creation otherwise. And it doesn't help that Dyson Daniels is probably going to be out for the playoffs. I think Atlanta, who's currently in second place in the East, would be an awesome fit. Now, the problem is they don't have many matching salaries. Obviously, they're not going to trade Jalen Johnson, so I don't think they're going to work. What about the Rockets? Fred VanVleet's contract is pretty much equal to that of McCollum. CJ's a lot better than Steady Freddy. The Rockets are not willing to do this. Van Vliet and a first rounder. I tried 4 second-round picks. They said no to that. I thought about maybe doing just 2 second-rounders, but at this point, it's like, this isn't a very good deal for us. So I decided to go back to the Blazers, a reunion with CJ McCollum in Portland. The Blazers are on the mix to the play-in spot, but I'm sure CJ would love to come back. Obviously, they're not going to trade Deni Avdija, but they do have the contracts that could potentially work in terms of matching salary. They are regretting the extension for Jeremy Grant big time. However, he's actually had a really good season this year. Let's look at Jrue Holiday. His contract is pretty much identical to that of Grant. 2 years with a player option for the 3rd year on pretty much equal money. Holiday's numbers are a lot worse than that of Jeremy Grant. His true shooting percentage is 10 points lower. His estimated wins added is 3.5 times less than that of Jeremy Grant. So I would argue Jrue Holiday's contract is worse. So I think him being the framework of this deal would probably make the most sense. The Blazers also have plenty of draft picks for us to pick from. They have a lot of second rounders, and they have some tradable first rounders, including this Orlando Magic pick in 2028. The Magic are going to be pretty good, you would think, with Paolo Banchero and Franz Wagner in a weaker Eastern Conference, but it's valuable enough to where I can get pretty excited about it. I think this is a fair deal. The Blazers are getting CJ McCollum, who helps their play-in run. They get out of the Jrue Holiday contract, which is the biggest win of this trade, and we get a first-round draft pick out of it. This is the exact type of deal I was hoping for when we originally drafted CJ McCollum, and then certainly going into the deadline, getting a bad contract and a first-round pick out of it is a major win for us. And I think it's going to be a win for Portland as well. They get better in the present, given that Jrue Holiday wasn't playing because he was hurt. McCollum is better when healthy anyway at this point, and he's expiring at the end of the year. They could always look to extend him, or they let him go. Regardless, that's better than having Jrue Holiday's gigantic contract on the books, giving them a lot more financial flexibility into the future, even if they do lose a first-round pick out of it. I'm excited to see CJ back in Portland where his career began. He reunites with Damian Lillard. I'm hoping that CJ re-signs here so him and Dame can play with each other once again. As for us, now we have Jrue Holiday on our team. He's going to be under contract for another 2 years after this one, assuming he accepts the player option. I figured I'd put him in the trade finder. I can't imagine there are many deals worse than his. That might be one of them, though. Kyle Kuzma. Yikes, I'm not interested. There were no deals in here that I thought would benefit both sides. Like, for example, the Clippers, for God knows what reason, offered us John Collins, who's better, expiring, and a first-round draft pick in 2029. That could end up being pretty valuable. That would not make sense for them. So I think ultimately we are going to keep Jrue Holiday, not necessarily by choice, but by necessity, which I kind of expected. We kind of knew that when we were acquiring this bad contract to begin with, but that's okay because we don't really need this cap space right now. We're not going to be going after max players in free agency. I don't think it makes sense to have him play the final weeks of the regular season in April once he's healthy, so we're just going to shut him down for the year. Get ready to learn PTO, buddy. I hope Jrue Holiday enjoys a nice vacation during the All-Star break. He deserves it. The biggest reason why we did this deal, though, is to obviously get the draft picks. A first-rounder in 2028 from Orlando, and then a second-rounder next year as well. So now we have Jrue Holiday's deal that basically replaces CJ McCollum's. It's just a little bit longer. But we're not done making moves. I'm going to send Jose Alvarado to the Miami Heat for Davion Mitchell and 2 second-round picks. These two players are basically identical in archetype. They are small, defensive-minded guards who are not very good offensively. Davion Mitchell's had a rough year, negative 1.9 estimated wins added. The Heat just extended him recently, hoping that his offensive game would take a leap, and if anything, it's done the opposite. The idea for Miami is they're getting out of Davion Mitchell's contract. He has a year and a half left. But instead, they get the expiring deal of Alvarado, who is on a player option, but it's for very cheap. So I don't think he'll accept it. And if he does, that's not necessarily a burden for the Heat. This gives them more money to potentially look at mid-level exception players this upcoming offseason. They did not say yes to our original deal. They sent us a counteroffer, which I don't mind, but I don't want to give up our second-round pick this year because that's going to be somewhere in the 30s. So I offered this deal. We would only get one of their 2027 seconds. They say no. They want a 2030 second. I would rather not give away draft picks here, so how about we meet in the middle? Instead of a 2027 pick, I'll do 2028, and they say yes. Alvarado has had a better season this year than Davion Mitchell based on his estimated wins added number. Davion's been more efficient offensively, though, and he was shooting the ball really well at the end of last season, a big reason why the Heat wanted to bring him back to begin with. I think Davion is better than Jose Alvarado. I think this trade is making our team better than it was previously, and we're adding a second-round pick out of it. He showed some good things down the stretch for them last year, a big reason why they extended him to begin with. Off night is now with our squad. We've got a few players whose morale is really low. Cornette, Clark, and Furphy. The last two guys I kind of get because they've been in and out of the rotation, but with Luke Cornette, it just doesn't really make sense to me because he's been in the rotation all year and has largely held a starting role. Clearly, he does not want to be here, and if you don't want to play for us, then I don't really want you here either. So I think it makes sense to potentially trade him now before this gets ugly. Given that he has 3 very cheap years on his contract after this one, he's definitely going to have trade value. I don't think we're going to get a first-round pick, but I think we could get something for him. There were some solid offers here in the Trade Finder. Jalen Williams with OKC, that's not a bad deal. They would want our second-round pick this year, which I'm not overly willing to do. But I think a swap with these two guys could actually make a lot of sense. They say no. They counter us with the 2027 second that we just got in the first trade today with Portland and CJ McCollum. I think this deal is worth it. The whole reason why we wanted to stock up on second-round picks is so we could use them for trades like this. I think Jalen Williams is a great fit for what we're trying to build here. We almost picked him in the expansion draft, obviously rolling with Aaron Wiggins instead. Jalen Williams can shoot the 3-ball. He's got a good feel for the game as a playmaker. He's a switchable defender. Granted, he isn't a very good one. Both players have estimated wins added around 3. Both of them are on very cheap deals. Cornette has an extra year. He's also a much better rim protector, which clearly is what OKC is trying to add, which is why they ultimately make that deal. So those are going to be our 3 moves. CJ McCollum, Jose Alvarado, Jeff Green, and Luke Cornette are out. We add Davion Mitchell, Jalen Williams. We get a couple of other guys through these 2 deals as well, including Drew Holiday, who's not going to play for the rest of the year, but he is on the team. And then most of all, we add a 2028 first-round pick from the Orlando Magic, trying to begin a treasure chest of draft picks, if you will. I think this trade deadline went very well for us. I don't think our team really got that much worse other than the McCollum trade, and we got a first-rounder out of it. Let's talk about some trades across the rest of the NBA, though. I was looking around through the potential list of free agents, and there aren't many good trade choices. I don't think the Lakers are going to deal LeBron. Kevin Durant, no, they're contending. Trae Young, no, they're contending. So I had to get a little creative, and we're going to start with Miles Bridges, who's had an up-and-down season with Charlotte. He's been very efficient from 2, but has not shot the 3-ball well. He's going to the Spurs for Harrison Barnes and a couple second-round picks. The Hornets get out of the Miles Bridges deal. This gives them a little more financial flexibility in the immediate future. And they had some second-round picks out of it while also getting more room to play their young guys like Tijan Salon and Liam McNeely. After making this trade, however, I felt like the Hornets didn't really get enough. So I swapped one of the second-rounders for Utah's second-round pick, which is probably going to be in the early 30s. Miles Bridges is still a good player, so I still feel like they should get a solid pick out of it. I put Walker Kessler in the trade finder with the idea of trading him to the Lakers because he's the exact type of player they've been looking for forever. However, I think the Orlando Magic make more sense. In the case of the Lakers, they don't have any draft picks they can trade away because they traded their 2029 first to get Luka, which was obviously worth it. I think Dalton Connect and a draft pick would have made sense, but they don't have picks. The Magic, however, do have picks, and they also have a major need for a rim protector. They've got some solid players down low, but they don't have many great defenders there, and I think Walker Kessler gives them exactly what they need. He is on an expiring contract. I would expect that they try to re-sign him, and he'll help their push through the Eastern Conference playoffs. Jet Howard is going to Utah. He's played a lot more this year, but he hasn't played well, along with a 2026 lottery-protected first-round pick. The Magic don't really have much control of their picks after this year, but they can trade this pick, and now feels like the only time to do so. So they might as well. They're not really going to be able to trade picks in the future because of the Desmond Bane trade. So they might as well get use out of their first rounder. Coby White is going to the Atlanta Hawks. It's been a rough year for the Bulls, but a great season for White. Luke Cornett, Mohamed Gay, and 3 first-rounders, including the Pelicans pick. Now, New Orleans is right around 500 this year. They have exceeded expectations, so that's currently projected to be like pick 12, pick 13. Coby White's been unbelievable this year, though. 23 points per game on 66% true shooting. He has been outstanding. That is while making less than $13 million a season. Not to mention, he has 3 more years left on his deal. He has put up all-star production this year on elite efficiency on one of the best contracts in the NBA. That's why it's ultimately going to take 3 first-rounders for Atlanta to trade him away. I mentioned the Hawks as a potential destination for CJ McCollum because they needed shot-making outside of Trae Young. Remember, Trae is a free agent at the end of the year. Let's say worst-case scenario happens and Trae Young leaves. Well, guess what? They have a replacement ready in Coby White who can play on the ball. If Trae does stick around, great. Coby White can play off the ball. So it's a perfect fit. Not to mention, Atlanta gets to keep Asa Newell, who's had a great rookie year. He was a guy the Bulls wanted to get. Atlanta was able to hold on to him. Yeah, it sucks losing 3 first-round picks, but when you're the number 2 seed in the Eastern Conference and your best player's a free agent at the end of the year, now is the time to go all in. And that's what Atlanta's doing by adding Coby White. Here's another big one. Jaylen Brown is going to the Golden State Warriors, who are looking for their final missing piece. With Jason Tatum injured, it has been a disastrously bad season for Boston. There were rumors this offseason of them trading Jaylen Brown away, and once I saw him in the trade finder for CJ McCollum, I realized they're trying to trade him, like, now. Individually, Brown really has not had that bad of a season, but it's clear they want to retool. They already traded away Kristaps Porzingis and Drew Holiday this offseason. Jaylen Brown is next. So he's going to Golden State along with Jordan Walsh, shout out Jordan Walsh, and Xavier Tillman in exchange for Draymond Green, who is here for salary filler, Moses Moody, Zeke Naji, Jonathan Kuminga, which is a big get for the Celtics. They're excited about him. He's put up very similar production to his 3rd season, where he was really solid, along with 2 first-round picks, both of which I think are quite valuable. The Warriors are only around 500 this year. They should play better with the addition of Jaylen Brown, but right now that's projected to be pick 16, pick 17, and then that 2028 first-rounder, I think, is a very valuable draft pick right now because Steph Curry's contract ends in 2027. I believe Jimmy Butler's ends in 2027 as well. Remember the Warriors franchise last year? Both of those players retired after 2027. That's not to say that's how things will end up here, but that 2028 pick could be very valuable if that's right when Steph and Jimmy walk out the door. As for the Warriors, they're going all in. They now have one of the best big 3s in the NBA, but they could use some more size. So they'll be getting Nick Richards from the Suns for Reggie Jackson and Guy Santos. I think Santos is actually a solid piece for the Suns. He's only 23 years old. The Celtics, meanwhile, will also make another move out of this, trading both Peyton Pritchard and Draymond Green to the Rockets. Much like Coby White, Peyton Pritchard has really elevated his value this year, and the Celtics are selling high. He's on an extremely team-friendly deal. Granted, he's not as good as Coby White, but still, this is a home run get for the Rockets. Draymond Green as well, a guy who has played valuable roles on championship teams in the past. The Rockets are going all in, but unlike Atlanta, they don't have to pay the price. Fred VanVleet, Clint Capella, and a first-rounder are going back to the Celtics. The Rockets still have the Nets pick in 2027. They still have the Suns pick in 2027. And now their championship contending roster adds 2 really good role players. It sucks to lose out on that Suns pick in 2029, but that's 4 years out. Kevin Durant's 37 years old right now. They're focused on the present rather than the future. My one question is how Kevin Durant and Draymond Green are going to be in the same locker room together again. I mean, they're adults. They can well, they're not really adults, but you get the point. As for Boston, they get a Suns pick in 2029, a Warriors pick in 2028, a Warriors pick in 2026. They keep Derek White, and they have Jason Tatum back next year. They are reloading, and I think will be scary in due time. So that is your trade deadline. Some exciting moves across the league with contenders such as the Rockets and the Hawks going all in. The Warriors trying to elevate themselves into a contender with the addition of Jaylen Brown. We get to see the new look Houston Rockets in action The Rockets are extremely injured, however. They are starting Aaron Holiday at the 2, and then their next backup guard is Johnny Davis. No Reed Shepard, Tari Eason, Josh Okogie, or Amen Thompson. All 4 of those guys will be returning within the next month or so. They will be available for the playoffs, but they're not healthy now. I believe that Houston is the favorite to win the whole thing. I think they're the best team in the NBA, especially with the additions of Peyton Pritchard and Draymond Green. But with the injuries and the new pieces, it might look a little wonky, even at 40-11. Here's your Eastern Conference All-Star guard vote with my favorite guard, Giannis, in first. Why is he listed as a guard? Whatever. Some new additions as well for the Rollers as Davion Mitchell and Jalen Williams make their Las Vegas debut. They will both be starting. There's Draymond on the bench. He's already complaining, and he hasn't even suited up yet for the Rockets. This might end up as a disaster for them, won't it? That would be hilarious. Jalen Williams meets up with Alperen Şengün for the tip-off. It goes to Williams, and we are underway here in Las Vegas. Davion Mitchell, off night, brings it up as he sends it over to Aaron Wiggins. Wiggins sends it in the corner. Bryce Sensabaugh, sidestep, 3-ball is good. Ice Bryce really struggled early in the season, but ever since he's come back from his injury, he's been really impressive. There's Jabari Smith with the slam. I've been talking about it for multiple episodes in a row. Our transition defense is awful, as you can see there. Davion Mitchell, his first points as a Roller. Is that a disappointing offensive season in Miami? We're going to rebound here as the lob is unsuccessful. Durant one-on-one with the slam. Abaji unable to make a play, as that'll make it 8-7. Durant matched up with Ochai. I cannot say I love that matchup. Durant is damn near 7 foot. Ochai is maybe 6'5". Durant misses the shot there. Wiggins with the cross, the sauce, and the miss. Wow, he made that cool of a play just to miss the layup. That is unfortunate. Durant with it on the other end. Gets it over to Alperen Şengün, who connects on the long 2. The young all-star big man from Turkey makes it 10-7. Mitchell up top, Sensabaugh. Another triple, it rattles in. He's got 8 of the first 10 for the Rollers, rocking the alternate red statement uniforms. Sensabaugh around the screen. He's hot. 3 for 5 from deep to start the game is Sensabaugh in the opening 4 minutes. He has the green light, and he's making them all pretty much. Şengün, no. Jalen Williams, the rebound, nearly loses it, but gets it back. He can handle the ball a little bit, and as I mentioned, he's a good playmaker at his size. Baby Şengün almost, as he goes all the way, draws the foul. His first points with the Rollers would come at the line. 15-12, here's Jabari Smith with it. Inside, Şengün. I don't know what Aaron Wiggins was fooled by there, but Şengün brings the lead within 1. 15-14 now. Jake LaRavia in for the Rollers. He's intercepted. Here comes the Rockets. Smith and Wiggins pull up jumper. Bounces. Please grab the rebound. Jesus Christ. Jalen Williams ends up with it. He gets it to Wiggins, his former teammate in Oklahoma City. Wiggins blocked at the rim. It goes off the glass by Alperen Şengün. Peyton Pritchard with it inside. Layup. No. An offensive disaster class from both teams right now. Sensabaugh, pull-up midi is good. 13 points now, 5 of 7 from the field. The rest of our team, though, only has 4 points. Tipped into the hands of Wiggins. Layup is good. You can see the shot making, or I guess lack thereof, with CJ McCollum is kind of noticeable. It just hasn't really shown up in the scoreboard because Bryce Sensabaugh's hot. Nice move by Jake LaRavia in for the layup. Our defense, though, has been terrific in this game. The Rockets' offense has had nothing going for them. LaRavia with the handoff, up and in for 2. He was nearly blocked on that play. Good play by Jake LaRavia. 23-18, Abaji, pump fake, looking for the screen. Ochai, Abaji for 3. And the lead is up to 8. Now the offense is starting to get comfortable while the defense continues to play brilliant. LaRavia is blocked by J.D. Davison, the guard. Yeah, that's how bad it's gotten for the Rockets in terms of injuries. J.D. Davison and Johnny Davis is their second-string backcourt as Davis misses the jumper. They're certainly hoping this will not be the crew in the postseason. LaRavia blocked again. Draymond Green in the game for the first time, got a hand on it. Sensabaugh's 3 off the inbound, won't go. Şengün grabs the rebound over Moussa Diabate. Here's Johnny Davis on the other end, in for the layup. Good Good play by Johnny Davis with his third, fourth, maybe fifth team at this point. I've lost count. So Iguodaro makes the layup, an 8-point lead now for the Rollers, off the assist by Devin Carter on the pick and roll. Draymond Green will bring it up, averaging 6, 6, and 7 this year. He gets it to J.D. Davison in the corner. Jayshawn Tate up to Johnny Davis. Davis looks to get by Iguodaro. Pull-up jumper is short. Rebound by Diabate, and here come the Rollers with 10 seconds to go. Devin Carter wide open. He'll take the shot early, and it's no good. I wanted to hold it there, but he was literally wide open. Can you blame us? Jayshawn Tate, jumper, no good. That'll wrap up the first low-scoring start, 28-20. The Rockets are shooting just 10 of 25 from the field and 0 for 5 from beyond the arc. Kevin Durant, 1 of 5 up to this point. And with the exception of Alperen Şengün, the rest of the team has 10 shots on 6 of 19 shooting. That is not good. Bryce Sensabaugh, meanwhile, leads the Rollers with 13, 5 of 9 from the field, 3 for 6 from deep. He has been aggressive and effective often as Şengün hits the floater over Oso Iguodaro. Şengün has been the only source of offense today for the Rockets. He's now got 12 on great shooting. Ochai Agbaji, nothing but net. From beyond the arc, around the screen, a 9-point lead for the Rollers. I kind of expected the Rockets were going to struggle, but I didn't think we'd be up by nearly double digits this early into the game. As Draymond Green makes the layup, good drive in his first game away from the Warriors after nearly 14 seasons with Golden State. Draymond in the corner. Harris for 3. It's good. The triple by Kevon Harris brings the lead within 2. Yeah, Kevon Harris is the next guard off the bench for them. That's how dire this is. As Draymond hits the 3 for the lead, and our nice lead that we had at the end of the first quarter has completely evaporated within 3 minutes. Davion Mitchell, triple is good. Has not shot the 3-ball well this season, but he's gotten better as a shooter throughout his career. I'm hoping we'll be able to tap into that. Draymond posts up on Oso Iguodaro. Layup, counted, and a foul. Draymond's having a phenomenal game offensively. He's been great. Diabate no good inside. Draymond with the stop. What a start to his Rockets career. Durant with it, only 2 points. Step back, triple over Carter. No good. He hasn't made really anything tonight. I don't know why he's taking double step backs 5 steps beyond the 3-point line. He's got to get back to the basics. Devin Carter, open triple is good. The Rollers back ahead, 37-35. Isaiah Crawford gets it to Durant. Step back again. This time it's good. It rattles in. 38-37 off the assist by Crawford. Again, you can tell the Rockets are really going to the end of the roster guys. Although I did like Crawford as a prospect, Louisiana Tech. But yeah, they certainly do not want him getting minutes in the playoffs as Devin Carter is in for the slam. 39-38 in transition. Agbaji, Mitchell, no. Sensabaugh, Sky's in for the rebound, misses inside. Good defense by the Rockets. Aaron Holiday with it. Hey, we hit the Holiday matchup, even though Drew's not playing, as Kevin Durant hits the corner 3. KD was a ghost for the first 15 minutes, but it appears he has awoken. Draymond is blocked by Jalen Williams. Draymond keeps it alive. That one no good. It's ironic that Draymond and Jalen Williams are on the complete opposite end of the spectrum in terms of being a good teammate. Like, they could not be more opposite of each other. Durant, the steal. Durant, the layup in transition. It's a 6-point lead for the Rockets. They've outscored us 25-11 in the second quarter. Sensabaugh, step back. Oh, man, a thing of beauty. Ethical hoops from Bryce Sensabaugh. He's got 15. 45-41. Pritchard in the corner, matched up with Mitchell. He gets it to Jabari Smith for 3 is good. The Pritchard on offense versus Davion Mitchell matchup on defense is like a basketball sicko's one-on-one dream. Jalen Williams inside takes advantage of the mismatch with Peyton Pritchard. It's a 5-point game. Holiday, floater over Carter is good. Back to a 7-point lead for the Rockets. The Rollers offense struggling here in the second quarter defensively as well. We look like a completely different team for the wrong reasons since the end of the first as Williams shoots it off the bottom of the rim. Yeah, not ideal. Draymond inside, layup is good. Why has Draymond unironically been arguably their best player today? I mean, other than Şengün, he's clearly been the next best player on the floor. Around the screen, Sensabaugh hits another! 18 in the first half for Bryce Sensabaugh, as it's 54-46. Jabari Smith on the drive. Smith matched up with Mitchell. Gets it to Draymond Green. Green, no. Grabs his own rebound. Second time is the charm. 56-46, a 10-point lead for the Rockets, who were down by nearly 10 at the end of the first quarter. With under 10 seconds left in the half. We know who we want shooting the ball here. Sensabaugh with 3. Sensabaugh guarded by Durant. Step back at the buzzer is no good. Well, the good news is we played well in the first quarter. The bad news is we were dreadful in the second. Outscored 36-18. We shot 7 of 18 from the field, but oddly enough, 4 for 7 from 3. Which means we shot just 3 for 11 from 2. In the second quarter, nobody had more than 5, while Draymond Green had a dozen points in that quarter alone. He only averages 6 points this year with the Warriors, as Durant is in for the layup. KD did not have a great first half, 10 points on 11 shot attempts, but he definitely played better as the game has gone along. Mitchell to Wiggins, the pick and roll, and the finish for Aaron Wiggins, who did not have a very good first half. He had only 2 points on 1 of 5 shooting. Laravia gets it to Davion Mitchell. Mitchell around the screen for 3, rattles in. After a dreadful second quarter offensively, we know we've got to pick it up here in the third. Durant, deep 3 is good. KD looks completely rejuvenated after not showing up at all for the first 15 minutes. He was probably still disappointed that he has Draymond on his team again, as he hits the jumper to make it a 10-point game. It's a little crazy to think about, though, that him and KD have not been teammates now for 7 years. So maybe they can reconcile. Aaron Wiggins connects from beyond the arc. We're certainly looking for him to get that shot to fall. Durant, 3 no good. Nice defense by Devin Carter, who's played well as of recent. Laravia with it. Inside, Wiggins, the floater over Smith. And the lead is back within single digits. Well, not for long. It's back to 10. 66-56. Davion Mitchell blows by Pritchard in for the layup. Too easy for Davion. He's in the double figures with 10. I've been impressed with Davion Mitchell offensively. And on the other end of the floor, Peyton Pritchard really has not been that involved. He's had an off night. See what I did there? As Jalen Williams is in for the layup. 8-point game. Şengün with Jalen Williams. That one bounces in. Alperen Şengün certainly has not had an off night. He has been very good, as it's 70-60 around the screen. Jay Will for 3. He can really space the floor as a big. Previously, none of our bigs were floor spacers, but now we have a guy who can stretch the floor and open things up on the perimeter for everybody else, as Pritchard is in for the layup. 72-63 now. Davion Mitchell brings it up. Step back, 3-ball is good. Jose Alvarado's contract might be cheaper, but I'll tell you what, he was not doing that. 74-66, Jalen Clark with it. Clark on the drive with the jam. Some power from Jalen Clark. Is it 74-68? Şengün sets the screen for Holiday. Pick and roll action. We've got to set up the switch. Some miscommunication between Abaji and Diabate, as Alperen Şengün is able to get that one to fall. 8-point game. Jalen Clark, triple is good. A 5-point lead now. We've played well in the third quarter. Considering how bad that second quarter went, we have really come alive. Peyton Pritchard around the screen from Şengün. Little pick and roll action again. The Rockets are abusing the pick and roll right now with Şengün. We are not able to stop them whatsoever. Here's Davion Mitchell inside. Laravia gives them a piece of their own medicine. Little pick and roll of our own. 80-73. Rockets call timeout in what has been a pretty high-scoring third quarter. Mitchell tries to get by Draymond. That's not going to be easy to do. Or on second thought, maybe it is. Mitchell all the way and 1. Davison tries to draw the charge. He cannot. The lead is within 4. 16-8 in Davion Mitchell's roller debut, as Jae'Sean Tate hits the wide open 3. Too much help inside for the traffic around the paint that we did not account for Tate. Here's Jake Laravia. Gets one right back. Same spot. Left wing 3. As it's 83-81. Shot clock unplugged. Game clock at 5. Rollers can take the lead. Mitchell's got Clark. Up to Diabate. No good. Not really the guy I wanted shooting the ball there, but that was our only choice with 2 seconds left. Overall, a really good quarter there for the Rollers. Our offense looked significantly better. We scored 33 points in that quarter after only scoring, 18 in the second. The three-point shooting's been really solid today. Our three-point shooting percentage is higher than our two-point percentage, which has happened actually a handful of times this year. I feel like our team either shoots the ball really well from three or really bad. There's no consistency. As Oso Ighodaro is in for the dunk, we're tied at 83. Rollers looking for their first lead since early in the second. Sensabaugh did not score in the third, gets going early in the fourth. Las Vegas up by a pair. Abaji on the drive, tries to get it inside. Oso Ighodaro in for the layup, and it is a 4-point lead for the High Rollers. 86-88, the Springer Center is rocking. Draymond, layup, and one! Draymond Green flexing on him, continuing what has not only been an outstanding Rockets debut, but probably one of his best overall games of the year. Carter, that one is good. I thought he was trying to lob it up for Ighodaro, but, I mean, that works just the same. 90-89, here is Alperen Şengün over Ighodaro, and the lead now back to the Rockets. 91-90 in transition. Clark for three. Won't go with 5.5 to play. Draymond pushes it up to Durant with Davion Mitchell in the corner. Pritchard for three. Bang! 4-point lead for the Rockets. 94-90. Here is Mitchell. An assist away from a double-double. Looking for the pick and roll again. It's Diabate. His first points of the game. Davion with 18 and 10. Have yourself a night. Mitchell, step back. Thought about the shot. Instead goes for Jalen Williams, who's in for the layup. Jay Will also on double-double watch. He only needs one more rebound. 94-94 with 4 minutes to play. Şengün pushed off his spot by Jay Will. Şengün, floater, hook shot is good. What a night from Alperen Şengün. He's got 28, 24 of which have come in the paint. Sensabaugh, sidestep, three ball is good! Bryce Sensabaugh brings the lead within one. Durant on the drive, layup is good. I mean, we're in a dogfight right now with, again, in my opinion, the best team in the NBA. I know they have all the easy excuses with the injuries and the new players, but we've got a chance to win this game. Durant with LaRavia. Too easy. The Slim Reaper. Arguably one of the greatest scorers to ever lace him up, showing why right there. 102-99. Who do we want shooting the ball? I want Ice Bryce. Oh, he misses it. Rebound by Şengün. That was a good release, and he was open, but it did not fall. Durant with LaRavia in for the layup. Abaji would normally be getting these closing minutes, but LaRavia with his size is a better matchup defensively for Durant. Sensabaugh with Aaron Holiday. Step back. Bang! 27 for Sensabaugh. He's gotten hot again just like he did in the first quarter. 104-102. Durant, turnaround. I mean, come on. How are you supposed to stop that? Durant's been doing this for 20 years at this point. Three is no good. The Rockets in the power position, up by 4, little over a minute. Durant again. No good. That's a big miss. Sensabaugh with the board, and here come the Rollers quickly. Sensabaugh on the drive in the corner. Mitchell for 3. No good. That feels like it was our chance. Again, it was a good look. Pretty solid release, but it doesn't fall. Durant gets the layup to bounce in on the other end, and it's an 8-point game. 108-102. 43 to go. Here's Aaron Wiggins with it. Gets it to LaRavia. Pump fake. Back out. Wiggins. 3. No. Rebound by Pritchard. We've got to play the foul game. Down by 6. I cannot say I really like our chances. 112-102 is your final. We battled until the final couple minutes. I know we lost by 10, but we were only down by 1 with like 2.5 minutes left. We were only down by 4 with 1 minute left. We were in it against the best team in the NBA until the very end. Were they missing 4 rotation players? Yes, they were. Did they have 2 players make their Rocket debut? Yes, they did. But I'm going to take the small victories. 27 for Sensabaugh and 0 assists. Bring your own ball, he says. And to be honest, I don't blame him because he was phenomenal. 7 of 14 from deep. Davion Mitchell and Jalen Williams both had really impressive debuts, each of them coming down with efficient double-doubles. Mitchell had 18 and 12. He looked like he was in total command of the offense. We're going to miss CJ McCollum, but we didn't really miss him in this game because Davion Mitchell was just as good. Jay Will only played 19 minutes, but he had 13 and 10. Nobody else in the double figures, however, unfortunately. As for the Rockets, 32 for Durant. He struggled early, but he got going as the game went along. 30 and 13 for Alvarado Sengun. I thought he was the player of the game. And then Draymond, especially in the second quarter where he had 12, he was good overall. Pritchard, meanwhile, really started to get going in the second half. He ended up with 13 in the win for Houston. We've got, I think, 4 more games until the All-Star break. The schedule is a little bit easier. The Bulls are one of the worst teams in the league, and they just traded the one thing they had going for them this year in Kobe White. Sixers, Pistons, and Grizzlies will all be tough, but they're all winnable, I would say, if everything goes right. I'm excited about Davion Mitchell. He looked really good in that game against the Rockets, and he's hurt. Bruised tailbone. Luckily, he should be back after the All-Star break as we go 2-2. Not the worst. We beat the Bulls by 11, 106-95. Good showing by the defense. 23 for Devin Carter. 19 and 15 for Jay Will. He made 5 threes as well. Now, not everybody shot the ball efficiently. Aaron Wiggins went 5 of 20, while Ayo Dosunmu had to carry the load for the Bulls. Beat the Pistons by 2. Carter with 21, Furphy with 19 in just 9 minutes. Wiggins 0 for 6 from 3, and then Ochai, I don't know what he was doing. Even though we beat the Pistons, I don't feel great about this game because we were up by like 20-something at the half, and we only won by 2. We nearly completely blew it. Let's talk about All-Star Weekend. We'll start with Friday night. The Rising Stars Challenge. It has gone back to USA versus the world. I'm pretty sure the only rookie or sophomore player who we have on the team is Devin Carter. He's had a solid year, but I'm not surprised that he didn't make the team. Davion Mitchell is healthy. That's good. Ended up having a really exciting game. Team USA wins by 1 with an MVP performance by Cooper Flagg, who will likely be a mainstay during All-Star Weekend over the next 20 years. Zachary Rizache, meanwhile, at 31 in a battle of the number 1 picks. Shaedon Sharpe, Asar Thompson, Stephon Castle, and Scoot Henderson in the slam dunk contest. CJ McCollum in the three-point contest. Let's go! He's kind of still our guy, so we're going to play through the three-point contest with CJ. He's doing pretty well here in the first round. Onto the money ball rack at the end, starting to get hot. He's making them. 3 in a row. How about 4 in a row? Not quite at the buzzer, but he does finish with 24, which is second for the first round. So he'll be moving on with Donovan Mitchell and Steph Curry. Mitchell only at 14. He did not shoot it very well. So the door is open for CJ McCollum to win the whole thing. Back with the Blazers. He's not looking great. He was better the first go-around, but he hasn't necessarily been awful either, and we've still got the money ball rack waiting. Takes his time. Big make. All right, we've got 5 more shots. We can get up to 10 points. There's a good start. Misses the second. Makes the third. Fourth one is no good. Big fifth. We're going to hold for the buzzer. Bang! 19 for CJ McCollum. He has the lead. Now, Steph Curry scored 27 previously, so I don't love our chances. Let's see what happens. Curry, like McCollum, put the money ball rack at the end as he is looking good early. Makes his first 3. First 4. How about another? Perfect to start. Yeah, I don't think CJ McCollum's going to win this. He's not even touching the rim. Everything is nothing but net. That is 10 in a row. He's at 12. The 4-pointer. No. Finally, a miss. Thank God. But now he's going to get right back to making shots. Yeah, I think the dream is long over for CJ McCollum. 15. Still at 15. 4-pointer is good. He's up to 18. That's technically worth 3 points in the three-point contest. There you go. He hits 20 with 20 seconds left. He's shooting these last few shots for fun. Look at the rebounder. Who is that rebounding? Is that Ronnie? Why do they have Ronnie rebounding for the All-Star game? What in the world? Okay. 34 points for Steph. He only missed, what was that, 3 shots the whole round? Yeah, you can have it. I mean, we never stood a chance, clearly. Steph Curry, the three-point champion in 2026. He had more points than McCollum and Donovan Mitchell combined in the final round. Now it is time for the 2026 NBA All-Star Game. Let's take a look at our All-Star rosters first. We'll start with the East. Largely the usual suspects. Cade Cunningham is back. I love to see that. I don't believe we have any first-time All-Stars at this group. And then in the West, Fox makes it with Wemby for the Spurs. Who got the last spot? Does that say Russell Westbrook? He hasn't even been good this year. His true shooting percentage starts with a 4. What are we doing? It's not even like he got the votes. CJ McCollum got more votes than him. What are we doing here? So the West wins the game. Luka with 18, Jokic 17, 14, 8, 2, and 4. He wins the All-Star Game MVP. Russell Westbrook scores 4. Why did he play? I don't get it. I just do not get that at all. What are we doing, 2K? I wish I could override the All-Stars like I can for the awards and the All-NBA teams. Anyway, that's going to wrap things up. Next time around, the plan is that we will get through the rest of season number 1. We might have a prospect profile as well. If not, that'll be at the start of the offseason. I haven't officially decided. But yeah, that's going to wrap things up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hype the video, do all that fun stuff. Peace out.